getting sunnier out here. But anyway, in this video, I want to discuss the actual the bracketing, the changing, because what he's discussing, this natural attitude from little tiny parts to large understanding of it, because he's trying to break it down. So I'm going to show this here. Instead of remaining in this attitude, we propose to alter it radically. What we now must do is convince ourselves of the essential possibility of the alteration in question. The general positing by virtue, which is not any continual apprehensive consciousness of the real surrounding the world, but a consciousness of it is factually existing actuality. Naturally, does not consist of a particular act, perchance an articulated judgment about existence. And what's kind of going on here? We can now proceed with the potential and inexplicit positing precisely as we can with the explicit judgment positing. One procedure possible at any time is the attempt to doubt universally, which Descartes carried out for an entirely different purpose, with a view toward bringing out a sphere of absolutely indubitable being. We start from here, but at the same time emphasize that the attempt to doubt universally shall serve us only as a methodic experiment for picking out certain points which, as included for essence, can be brought to light and made evident by means of it. Descartes, what he did is he was doubting because of a demon that might be deceiving him. What we're talking about here is doubting of this factual existence that we're granting to always be there. In the natural attitude, with all this thing, everything that comes with the natural attitude and the cogito and everything else, what we're talking about is we're not doubting anything about what we're seeing. We're not doubting this immediate perception, and we're trying to doubt universally is what we're doing here. And this belongs to our realm of perfect freedom, as he's saying. And we can attempt to doubt anything, whatever, no matter how firmly convinced of it or even assured of it in inadequate evidence we may be. This is the big thing here. The attempt to doubt universally belongs to the realm of our perfect freedom. We can attempt to doubt anything, whatever, no matter how firmly convinced of it or even assured of it in inadequate evidence we may be. Let us reflect on what lies in the essence of such an act. Someone who attempts to doubt some being or other, or predicatively explicated that exists, or that is how it is, or the like. The sort of being does not matter. Okay. So, we're talking about the possibility of doubting this. And, obviously this is carried over, so does particularly being qualified in this is so. Obviously this is carried over from doubting to attempting doubt. Furthermore, it is clear that we cannot doubt a being in the same consciousness without posit the separation of this being. Whoa! Someone's pissed. Alright. So basically, we're talking about the possibility of doubting universally. And this is the phenomenological epoche. That's what this Greek thing is. It's called epoche. That's another word for this bracketing, the phenomenological bracketing. And what he's saying before this is, should be said that nothing prevents speaking correlatively of parenthesizing with respect to a possible objectivity belonging to no matter what region and category. When speaking thus, we mean that every positing related to this objectivity is to be excluded. Every positing related to this objectivity is to be excluded and converted into its parenthetical modification. Furthermore, when the metaphor of parenthesizing is closely examined, it is seen to be, from the very beginning, more suitable to the object sphere, just as the location of putting out of action is better suited for the act or consciousness sphere. So, every positing related to this objectivity, it shall be said that nothing prevents speaking correlatively of parenthesizing with respect to a possible objectivity belonging to no matter what region or category. So before going into the actual epoche about things, he's saying that with this natural attitude and cogito comes a objectivity. We're looking at things as we're having some sort of objectivity here, which is something we need to modify, and everything that pertains to it in the natural attitude needs to be excluded. And this brings him to the phenomenological epoche. We could now let the universal epoche, in our sharply determinate and novel sense of the term, take the place of the Cartesian attempt to doubt universally. But with good reason we limit the universality of that, since we are completely free to modify every positing and every judging, and to parenthesize every objectivity which can be judged about if it were as comprehensive as possible. Then no province will be left for unmodified judgments, to say nothing more of a province for science. But our purpose is to discover a new scientific domain, one that is to be gained by method of parenthesizing, which therefore must be definitely a restricted one. We put out of action the general positing which belongs to the essence of the natural attitude. We parenthesize everything which that positing encompasses with respect to being, that thus the whole natural world which is continually there for us on hand, and which will always remain there according to consciousness as an actuality, even if we choose to parenthesize it. So we still have an actuality here, even if we're parenthesizing everything. If I do that as I can complete the freedom, then I'm not negating this world as though I were a sophist. I am not doubting it its factual being as though I were a skeptic. Rather, I am exercising the phenomenological epoche, which also completely shuts me off from any judgment about spatiotemporal factual being. This is more buzzwords here, or more important things. He's not doubting, he's not negating everything as if he's sophist. He's not doubting things as if he's a skeptic. He's exercising the phenomenological epoche, which completely shuts you off from judgment. So judgment about, here's what he's talking about. Judgments of sciences of the natural attitude, that's judgments of the natural attitude. That's, and basically what this bracket or epoche is doing. It's cutting you off from any judgments about these actualities, because we know that these are actualities here in this on-hand world, everything that is occupied in the cogito. But we can't, he's shutting off from any judgment, shutting himself off from any judgment about them, because that's what the epoche is. Thus, I exclude all sciences relating to this natural world, no matter how firmly they stand there for me, no matter how much I admire them, no matter how little I think of making even the least objection to them. I make absolutely no use of things posited in them, nor do I make my own a single one of the propositions belonging to those sciences. Even though it be perfectly evident, none is accepted by me, none gives me a foundation. Let this be well noted, as it is understood, as it is presented in one of those sciences as the truth about the actualities of this world. I must not accept such a proposition until after I have put parentheses around it. And therefore, not it is a science proposition which claims validity, and validity of which I accept and use. The epoche in question here is not to be mistaken for one that positivism requires. So, this is what characterizes the whole thing of phenomenology. Phenomenology is the science of sciences, because phenomenology is study of, more or less, study of phenomena. I mean, but it's, we're not talking about them as if we're a skeptic about their actualities, but phenomenology is a science of sciences because we're talking about things beyond the natural attitude. Because if we're looking at things in that way, then we are if we're looking at things in the natural attitude way, then we're talking about actual sciences, actual physics and things like that. Which, according to this phenomenological epoche, then we're not to keep any of that as a foundation. But I'm gonna come back with some more things about Husserl later. But what I'm thinking right now is I wanted to bring this up mostly because this is fundamental to understandings of phenomenology, and it's fundamental to. So I wanted to. This is a very in-depth discussion of the natural attitude and the bracketing of that. So if this is too much for you, I'm sorry, but I hope I didn't screw anything up for people who are smarter than I am. But I hope you guys have a great day.